Hello guys, my name is Loredana and I'm a freelance illustrator and graphic designer, and today I have a really cool project. Actually, it's the first time when I'm doing this. It's a rebranding for an important brand in Romania, my home country. In case you don't know, I'm currently in Romania, in Bucharest, my home. And I thought it would be really interesting to take like a really known Romanian brand and to redesign its image, including the branding, the visual identity, and the label design for the product. I picked, because I'm from Tecuci. Tecuci is a very small town from Moldavia in Romania. I picked one of the most important, I think is the most important cannery factory in Romania, which is called Contec. And they produce, through other products, they produce mustard, which is a really important ingredient in Romania because, well, we tend to eat a lot of sausages and mici. In case you don't know, I'll show you what they are. So we eat mustard. So I thought this would be like really interesting to do. So let's hop on it. As I told you before, today I'll create a rebranding for Muștar de Tecuci, mustard from Tecuci or produced in Tecuci, which is produced by Contec Foods and is distributed by Olympia. So I'll create the rebranding for Olympia and also the label design for Muștar de Tecuci, because it's really important before you begin whatever rebranding or branding or packaging design project. It is very important to do your research as good as possible. So invest time in that. Invest time to discover your client, invest time to discover the competition in order to know what to deliver. Usually you'll receive the brief from the client, but because this is a personal project, I created myself the brief, and I usually like to use adjectives. So for Muștar de Tecuci, honey, with honey, I chose traditional, artisanal, vintage, but with modern touches, handmade, organic, affordable, but not cheap, which is really important, and friendly. Because I chose the honey mustard, my target public is represented by women between 30 and 40 years old. I already created a mood board and I'll show it to you to see a bit which is my direction all in all, even though I don't have yet like a very clear idea. I'll listen to my instinct and let's have fun. But first, let's take a look on the actual branding and label design for the product that we'll create. So this is the label design for Muștar de Tecuci right now, and this is the logo design for Olympia, which is the distributor. And well, definitely needs some improvement because it looks quite outdated, and I can understand the fact that they want to spend not so much money on the label design, so I'll stick for my design with a limited color palette, and well, let's see what's going to happen. So let's begin, my darlings. Here it is how I started, because everything starts with something. And in my case, everything started with this mood brand. So for this project, I want to pick something modern yet vintage with an organic, artisanal look. Thinking to create something inspired by Romanian folk art. Here are the stunning decorative patterns, which I intend to integrate into my design somehow. Let's see how. And I have some other references here. I love so much how modern is this one, even though I think it's not so appropriated for our design, following the brief. I like this illustration. I love them. I think they would suit this brand. Right? I really like this because it looks vintage, yet the font, it's a serif, so it has some elegance and some, you know, makes you think about quality and class. So I think I'll integrate that too. So for the main logo for Olympia, which is our distributor, I'll use Alice Regular, which I'll modify a bit, and I'll mix with this stunning O, because this one is really beautiful. It's very elegant. It has some very feminine touch, which is Berkshire Swash Regular. As you can see, the current logo has also motto, which is quality brand. So let's try to emphasize that prestige, the quality through the fonts which I'll pick. So for quality brand, I use Wayfair Display. I also picked a slab serif font for Muștar din Tecuci for the name of the product, mustard from Tecuci. And I think it's so adapted for this product, because slab serif fonts have that organic, artisanal, handmade look, and it's really suited for this project because resembles a lot the line, the straight lines, the straight angles used in Romanian folk art. For this project, we have two tastes. One is called mieros, which could be translated as sweet, and makes references to the honey mustard, and furios, which is angry. So it's spicy, it's very spicy. This is why it's called angry. As colors, as I told before, I want to stick with the limited color palette, which basically are colors that are used in Romanian folk art. So we have a sort of black, an off-white, a bit yellowish, a bit warmer, and a warm red. And I'll use this for the branding. And I'll also use them together with this mustard yellow. It's a warm yellow. It's not so green as the mustard. It's a bit more orangey. These four colors, I'll use them for the label design. Here are some iterations. I played a little bit to see how the main logo, the primer logo would look, the stacked one, how the secondary logo would look, the horizontal one. And well, I played a bit more just to see how it looks. In my opinion, this one, I really love how it looks, but it seems too sophisticated for Olympia, I think. Olympia is not a sophisticated brand, you know. I tried to create the persona behind it. Who is Olympia? I asked myself, and well, I imagined Olympia as a lady between, I don't know, 30, 50 years old, who loves to cook, obviously, who is still very elegant, feminine, and well, this is Olympia, and I tried to emphasize it, you know. The font I picked, the Alice, has some rounded angles and corners, which makes it look somehow sweeter, more elegant, more feminine. And I think it goes really, really well with this logo mark I made using the two O's intertwined. I think, you know, it's a sort of circle, as you can see, it's an O, so it's a sort of circle. They're intertwined, so they make me think about communion, unity, protection. And the font, yeah, it's a serif, both serifs. And they mix really well, in my opinion. Here I continue my game, my creative game, because, well, it's very important to play around, to see what's happening, what works, what doesn't work for this project. So I played a little bit more, this time using the colors I chose for branding. The warm red, the yellowish white, and the warm black. And here's the result. Played a little bit. I really like these ones, you know, but again, I think it's really sophisticated. I will definitely reuse this for another project. Here is again the primary logo for Olympia in black, because when I work, I always begin in black, and after that I'm adding color, because if you work using color, the color will steal your attention and you'll not be able to see the flaws. And I played with the logo mark. I made two. One using only one O, and the second one using two O's. I like more the one using two O's, because as I said before, makes me think about communion, unity, protection. When you eat something, you want to know that it's safe for you, it's healthy for you, it's good for you. These logo marks can be used on the top of the can, so to decorate the top of the can. And I think they would look great also used as a stamp, because again, it's an artisanal product inspired by traditional recipes, and I think a stamp would look really cool. I also made logo marks, simple icons, which can be used for social media profile photos. This is a personal preference, but I like more the version with white, off-white on top of this warm red. I think it emphasizes the quality brand motto they have. After picking the design for the branding, I began working on the typography for the label design. And as I told you, I used this slab font mixed with this really fun retro, vintage, girly, whatever you want to characterize it, which is called lobster regular for the tastes, for mieros and furios, so for sweet and for spicy. So yeah, I played around a bit, you know, positioning in different positions, and in the end I stick with this one. So let's continue our brand reveal. I use this as a reference. These are traditional folk Romanian motifs from Moldavia, in Romania, not Moldavia, Republic of Moldavia. So, because the masters is produced in Tecuci, which is in Moldavia, and it's also an artisanal, traditional product, I think this would work perfectly. Also, it's stunning. It's a stunning work, you know. So, ta-da! Here are the label designs for the two tastes. They are identical. The only difference, as you can see, are the tastes, mieros and furios. For these labels, I measured the height and the width, and here they are. Let's take a closer look. So I told you that I used as inspiration this, and I created this, which is such a beautiful decorative touch, so representative for the Romanian people, and I know they are well appreciated worldwide. The design is very simple. I wanted to stick to a simple design, which mixes like the vintage, artisanal elements with more modern one, like this text box, which has the shape of an arch, of a door. Also another element used in the Romanian folk art. So the design is very simple. I didn't want to create, something expensive, because as I felt, they don't want to spend so much money on the design, which is perfectly fine. The less colors you use for a design, the cheaper the design will be. So here it is. And here is the design for the top, which will appear here. So I don't know which one looks better in your opinion. And well, I can't wait to mock this up. So we'll see the final product. So thank you for sticking with me for designing the branding, including the label design for Muștar din Tecuci, produced by Contec Foods SRL and distributed by Olympia. Last but not least, stay tuned to see the whole branding presentation. Bye bye!